This was the most fun I've had making a YouTube video, and I hope you're going to have fun watching it, but it's been 3 years since the American Academy of Dermatology held its annual meeting. The American Academy of Dermatology is the largest group of dermatologists in the US and certainly one of the biggest in the world. And the AAD meeting is one of the biggest international gatherings of dermatologists. Now, due to COVID, this meeting has been canceled or virtual only for the last couple of years, so it's been a long time since many of us dermatologists were able to get together and collaborate on anything really. This meeting was held in Boston, and I was able to get together with friends that I've known for a long time, people that I did my residency with, as well as meeting for the first time a number of other dermatologists that I've become acquainted with through social media. These dermatologists are doing amazing things to educate online, through social media, and are taking great care of their patients in practice. I spoke to a diverse group of dermatologists at the meeting to ask them some burning questions about skincare, misconceptions, and just anything to do with dermatology, including their favorite Cerave products. I do want to give a shout out to Cerave. You guys know that it's one of my favorite skincare brands. I love the products. They're reasonably priced. Cerave played a critical role in helping to bring together all these dermatologists for these interviews. I had an absolute blast meeting many of these dermatologists for the first time, and I hope you enjoy the interviews as well. Let's jump into it and check it out. The American Academy of Dermatology meeting has been canceled for 3 years, and I'm back quizzing your favorite dermatologists all about their skincare. I'm hanging out with Tom Allison. Tom Allison is the co-founder of Cerave. He is part of the genius behind the brand that you know and love, and we're hanging out at the American Academy of Dermatology meeting. So Tom, what is Cerave doing at the AAD meeting 2022?
Well, it's so good to see you, Dr. Portela, as always. So we're excited to be at the AAD, actually. It's one of the key moments throughout our year where we really get to check the pulse of dermatologists across the United States. So you can see here behind the camera, our representatives, our marketing teams are really interfacing with dermatologists, making sure that we're developing the very best skincare for diseased skin.
Why is it important for Cerave to work with dermatologists in your product development and in your messaging?
I mean, for us, it just makes sense to work with those that know skin the best, people like yourself. So we want to make sure that every product we ever developed has been vetted by kind of those industry skincare experts, dermatologists that know the ingredients inside and out, that know how to formulate products as well as know, what ingredients to put in, what ingredients to keep out to make sure that it's really the most relevant skincare to be developed for patients that come to see you.
What's the biggest misconception you think your patients have when it comes to skincare?
Well, I'll tell you, even inside my own family, that you only have to moisturize the parts that people can see.
Yeah.
But it's so important to moisturize all of the skin.
Yeah.
So I really have to walk them through that.
So most people, when I tell them to moisturize, they really say, but my skin doesn't really need moisture. I already produce a lot of oils. But to be honest, our skin does need moisture, and that moisture barrier of our epidermis needs to be moisturized.
So I feel like just a frequent theme that I see is people overcomplicating things. So they'll see some product or something like that on social media or wherever, and they'll just feel the need to buy everything and try to use everything, when I feel like most people are better served by choosing a few products that would specifically address what their major skin concerns are. So being really intentional about the skincare that they use.
Keep it simple.
Exactly.
Keep it simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it.
Nope.
The biggest, there's so many. I think that wearing sunscreen every day is my big one.
Okay.
People don't think they need to wear it every day, and they don't reapply enough. So I think the biggest misconception is that you don't need it.
I bet probably 80% of my patients don't realize that they should use sunscreen year-round every single day, and I'm shocked by that statistic, because as a dermatologist, we know it's the best thing you can do for your skin, but patients always think about it with activities. They're going fishing, they're going to a baseball game. They never think about it during the winter, day-to-day activities, and just getting that cumulative sun exposure over their life.
I think a lot of patients undervalue a good skincare regimen or routine. I think if you really do a good job of taking care of your skin, moisturizing it, washing it daily with a gentle cleanser twice a day, and using simple ingredients like a retinoid, vitamin C, I think you'll see drastic results, and you don't really have to reinvent the wheel. So I think just being on a routine regimen of doing something every single day and getting the habit of it will just make a huge result. So
I think a lot of my patients don't know that they need to wear sunscreen every day, even for patients who are darker skin tones like mine. So I think protection against UV as well as visible light is really important. So sunscreen education has been really big for me.
Great question. I think the biggest misconception is that sunscreen is dangerous or not healthy. Obviously, we know some of the ingredients in chemical sunscreens might have some potential side effects that we still haven't totally understood fully, but a zinc oxide or titanium dioxide sunscreen is very safe. So that's usually what I tell my patients, especially since we're getting a lot of high elevation sun and reflection from the snow. So,
What's your personal favorite Cerave product?
For me, one product I can't live without is always the sunscreen. So Cerave AM.
Okay.
I have very fair skin.
Yeah.
I do have quite a bit of sun damage that was done when I was a youngster. And to me, I think SPF is always super valuable. And I think I heard it once said that, SPF probably is your best anti-aging product.
Without a doubt, I agree with that. What's your favorite Cerave product?
My favorite Cerave product is actually the Acne Foaming Cream Cleanser because it has a low benzoyl peroxide that works extremely well for patients who are acne prone and who have oily skin.
Yeah, I get pretty dry and that one does well for me.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't tear up my skin barrier.
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I have many favorite products. Let's go with the one that I use the most. I would say the Cerave Healing Ointment. It's all over my house. It's in my car, my purse. I apply it to my eyelids, my lips, my elbows, my heels, no judgment. And I apply it to my kids, and it just has the perfect combination of hyaluronic acid and petrolatum and ceramide. So that's my go-to.
Do I have to choose just one?
You got to pick one.
I mean, I'm going to have to go with the moisturizing cream. It's been a classic for many, many years. I recommend it to so many different patients. If I had to choose one, it would probably be that one.
I agree. You can use it on the face, you can use it on the body.
Yeah.
Works as a good hand cream.
It does.
So I think that's a solid pick.
Thank you.
I really like their PM moisturizer.
Okay.
That's what I used when I was on Accutane.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So I still love it.
So as I mentioned, I do like the tinted mineral sunscreen. That's my favorite, and I'm using it right now.
The Cerave Hydrating Cleanser. It's my favorite. Yeah.
That's usually my go-to when it comes to a cleanser.
Yeah, it's so nice.
My favorite Cerave product is going to be the Hydrating Cleanser. I saw there was like a giant one around here somewhere that made me excited. But I think it's perfect. I have combination skin, so I like to have something that will leave me feeling clean but not too dry.
Yeah.
And I think it has that perfect balance between the two.
Cerave moisturizing cream.
Moisturizing cream.
Yeah. And some people think that it's too thick, but if you put it on right after you shower and you don't dry yourself to the bone, like you can leave a couple of water drops there. That water will actually distribute the cream out a lot better, and it's a lot easier to tolerate if you don't like thick creams.
Why do we need to protect ourselves against visible light? I know everybody hears about ultraviolet light, but what is the damage that can come from visible light?
So the biggest thing is actually hyperpigmentation, especially in patients of skin of color. So protecting against visible light is really important for protecting against photo aging as well as pigmentation.
Yeah, unwanted pigmentation, things like melasma,
Exactly.
sunscreen. So you're probably more of a fan of a mineral sunscreen?
Yes. I just tried some out today actually as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. So one thing that I see in my practice is that patients neglect the skin of their body. They may remember to take care of their face, but why is body skincare important?
I think it's important because, we want to put our best face forward, our best skin forward. I think I see a lot of dermatitis in my practice, dry, itchy skin, and people come to me want a quick fix, and there's really no quick fix. It's really about consistency, but moisturizing your skin, not just on the face, but also hands, body, can help to prevent some of those complications, maybe even save you a visit to the dermatologist.
Absolutely. Dry skin, they get itchy, they
Very
get a rash
dry,
that
itchy
spreads.
skin, winter itch, hopefully past us for now.
Definitely a problem in Kansas City.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's wonderful. You trained here in Boston.
Yes.
You're back here for the American Academy of Dermatology meeting. What has been your favorite part of the meeting so far?
I think my favorite part of the meeting is seeing friends and colleagues again. It's been a couple of years since I've been at the AAD, so it's just been wonderful to catch up with people. Also see all of the innovation that has happened in the past couple of years in terms of atopic dermatitis, as well as hair loss, which is my specialty.
And that's what I was going to ask about, because I've been asking everybody, what's the main, the biggest tip that you've learned at the meeting? But you're not just here to learn, you're here to speak and to educate other dermatologists. Tell us about your passion for treating hair loss.
Sure. I found in residency that hair loss is one of the greatest areas of unmet need in dermatology. And a lot of derms don't always like treating hair loss. So sometimes those patients are somewhat underserved. And so I decided to make that my niche. And also my background, so I'm a licensed cosmetologist.
Oh, wow.
So I did hair before going to in college and all of that. So I've been able to integrate that background into my love of, skin and beauty and hair and all that.
Any particular tips you've picked up from the meeting or lectures that you've gone to?
So I went to a hair loss lecture that I got a lot out of, just because I see a lot of hair loss in Stockbridge, Georgia.
Okay.
And so I went to that just because I need a couple more tips. And yeah, there were some new oral medications that I found out that you can use. And
okay. That's great. That's fascinating because that is such an area of unmet need.
Definitely.
Hair loss seems to be accelerating.
Yeah.
So.
I'm quickly turning into the guy in Stockbridge for hair loss.
Yeah. What is your biggest skincare secret? And I'm going to put you on the spot. It can't be sunscreen.
Okay. Biggest skincare tip, you said?
Tip, secret, yeah.
Well, I think, again, it's all about consistency. There's really no quick fix in skincare. So picking out a few staple items does not have to be fancy, and just sticking to a routine can actually go a really long way if you have patience. So I have a few favorite staples in my regimen that I swear by. And I do love the sunscreen. I do have my favorite sunscreens too.
Okay.
But I think being really consistent and thoughtful about how you're choosing your products is probably my biggest skincare secret.
Don't be afraid to switch up your routine based on the season. So for myself, I might even use a little cream on my face in the wintertime. I'm a big proponent of a prescription topical retinoid for all of its benefits. And so layering on the moisturizing lotion, sometimes even before and after, like the sandwich method. So I'll moisturize before, place the retinoid on, and moisturize after. That's like a huge tip that helps a lot of people to get irritation.
That's a great tip to avoid that irritation, the dryness, and improve compliance, because ultimately we want the patients to use it regularly in order to get the results that they're looking for. What is your best skincare secret?
Best skincare secret? It'd have to be the duo: moisturize, 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 and use sunscreen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular sunscreen recommendations for you? What do you look for in a sunscreen?
What I look for in a sunscreen, it really just depends on the person. Whether they're oily skinned or whether they're dry skinned, skin tone, things like that. But really, it really just depends on the patient.
What's next for Cerave as you look forward to the next, year or two as you educate consumers on taking care of their skin?
Yeah, for us, we're going to continue to drive regimen. The idea to use skin-based type cleansing, to use moisturizers as well as SPF protection. So you're going to see a lot of communication coming out. One of the things we're also excited about is this new slugging trend, for example.
Right.
How do we kind of trap that moisture after application at night, utilizing, for example, Cerave Healing Ointment. So really trying to drive multi-step regimens to drive the very best clinical outcome and healthy skin benefit.
Awesome.